Hello and welcome back to this tutorial series on playing the blues music. My name is Mr. Lodge from Linghall School. You should already have watched and gone through the bassline video. In this video, we're going to carry on where we left off and look at playing the melody. There's actually two things I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to show you how to play the melody and how to sequence that. It's really simple. I'm also going to show you a little bit of improvising that you can do as well. Now, we've looked a lot at improvisation through studying various non-Western music and looking at blues at Linghall School. You should know that improvisation is making up music without kind of pre-planning it, but using a certain set of notes. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start by playing the melody. What you're going to need is your MIDI keyboard all plugged in, ready to go. You're going to need BandLab open, and you are going to need your music as well. For the purposes of this tutorial, we are going to be looking at this piece of music here and focusing on just the top line. Now the top line runs across here, jumps down, runs across here. You have already done the walking bass line before, maybe using another sheet. So that's done. So we're going to use these notes and we're going to play these sections. The great thing about this is essentially you've got one section of music, G, 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 C, D, C, E flat, D, C, 3 times. So you only need to record this once and then copy it. There's a few little tricks that we need to know before we do that. So let's open up our BandLab. Add track, virtual instrument. Now, for this virtual instrument here, I am going to choose a bluesy instrument. For example, you can find a saxophone or a trumpet or something like that. You can use the search feature here. Let's go with a trumpet. Well, that's jazzy. So let's go with that. We need to make sure that our octaves are set correctly on the MIDI keyboard. So I'm going to press up here. I'm actually going to do it up here or should I do it up here? I'm going to do it up here. So I've got octave set up. I've got octave set as 4 on BandLab and I'm ready to go. Now, in terms of playing the music, I'm going to be using my right hand, different fingers. Here's how it sounds. I'm going to do it a couple of times because our rhythm is a little bit jazzy in this one. Now, remember the kind of rhythm that we have in blues music was called swing. It's different from straight. You've got, rather than playing 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got a sort of long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short thing going on. It looks a little bit complicated, so pay attention to the rhythm. We have got G, 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 hold it down. Now, I intentionally held down the last note because if you notice here, it lasts for a long time. So we've got G, 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 hold it. C, D, C, E, flat, D, C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have got 2 whole notes here, which are both worth 4 beats. Add them together, like what this tie does, and that becomes 8 beats. So once I finish playing, I'm going to hold that last note for 8 beats. Watch it one more time and listen closely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm using more than one finger. I'm not just using my index because that means I'm more likely to make a mistake. That is poor technique. That's what we are going to play. Okay, I'm not going to do it one more time. If you need to practice it before you record it, I encourage you to do that. If you need to do it slower, that's fine. If you need to pause and rewind this video to watch me playing that again, that's absolutely fine as well. But I am going to move on. So let's go back to our BandLab. Always takes me a million years to find it. There we go. Okay, play heads at the beginning. If I record as it is, I'm going to hear the bass line as well. You have the option, if you want to, of muting by pressing M, the bass line. It's up to you. If I mute, then it's going to record without the bass line. If I leave it as it is, it's going to put the bass line in. For now, I'm going to mute it, and we are going to record ourselves playing that. Remember to play the rhythm correctly. Count the long note at the end to 8 beats. Use one hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's pause it there. Just bring that bit in a tiny bit at the end by dragging it in like this so it stops at bar 4. Let's have a listen. Sorry if this is kind of cutting through your ears a little bit. I could change it. Maybe I'll just change it back to piano to make it softer on your ears a little bit and then change it. No, do you know what? My video, my rules. Ha. Let's have a listen. No problem. Okay, great news, and this is what makes this nice and quick. You will notice that that section of music repeats not once, but twice. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to BandLab. We are either you can loop it or copy and paste it. For now, I'm going to loop it. So I'm going to grab it at the top with the loop button. Wait till the arrow points outwards. Oh, no, didn't do that on the loop button. That's on me. There we go. Loop it right to the end. Let's unmute the bass. Let's see how it all sounds together. Simple. Save your work. Change the name of your instrument if you like to, we can call this one trumpet, or you can call it melody. It's up to you. Okay, that's how to sequence the melody. It's super easy. We've got a bit of time, so let's do something slightly different. Let's add a track. Let's virtual instrument. For this one, instrument, let's change it to, if they've got a saxophone, nice alto saxophone. Love an alto saxophone. Bring this one down an octave. Okay, I'm going to mute my trumpet. I'm going to tell you a bit about improvising. The blues uses something called a blues scale. It's a bit of a funky scale. We're in C, so I'm going to press my C note. My first jump is a tone plus a semitone. So remember, a tone is up 2, and a semitone's up another one. So we're going to go from C to E flat, then a tone, semitone, semitone, tone plus semitone, tone. Those notes are C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, B flat, C. What you can do, if you would like for this sequencing, is to record yourself doing a little bit of improvisation, just using those notes. In any order you like, that's up to you, but try and make sure you are just using those notes. So here's something that you can do. Just have a little watch of this and have a go if you'd like to. I've muted my trumpet part. I'm going to leave my bass line on. Here we go. Now, looked a bit complicated, wasn't trying to show off, but all I was doing was playing around with the notes in the blues scale. And it takes confidence, and the only way that you can start doing something like that is by practicing it. You know what the notes are, just have a go at recording over the top of it. Keep your melody back, don't play them at the same time, it's going to sound a little bit sort of, I don't know, all over the place. But what you can do if you want to, we can move our saxophone part later and copy and paste our bass line parts. I don't know if I can put them together. We'd have to do a little bit of copying and pasting here. Copy, playhead, paste. We can keep our bass line going. So then it will sound like, if I mute, we go back to this point here. Trumpet melody. Saxophone takes over. That's really nice. That, if you did something like that and submitted that as your end of year assignment, oh my life, you'd get a good score for that. So let's save our work. That is how to sequence the melody part, and if you would like to, how to sequence a little bit of improvisation over the top. I'll tell you what, we'll call this sax improv. In our next video, we're going to look at chords, and if time, we'll look at drums as well. Make sure you save your work. Make sure that you, always save your work. If you have been asked to publish it and share it with your teacher, that happens in the invite button up here. Otherwise, I'll leave the video here. Hope you've enjoyed it, and see you on the next one.